Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Dee again, and welcome to the Interstate with Dee. Today is Saturday, August 30th, 2025. Welcome back to our trip on the Interstate. What we do here is present news from the state level that will end up having national importance later, or news that made it into the national news cycle but was overshadowed. Then we go over some questions from y'all. On this date, August 30th, in 1956, the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway opened. It's still one of the longest bridges in the world. Today is National Toasted Marshmallow Day. Bonfire, anyone? Okay, and on to the news. In Alabama, Republican Representative Barry Moore is running for U.S. Senate next year, but this week he ran out of town hall after being booed off stage as he was attempting to defend Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. The Alaska summit between Trump and Putin is still having fallout. A top expert on Russia at the CIA was ousted, making it likely that Trump's next dealing with Putin will be less effective. In Arizona, large parts of the state were covered by a haboob. A haboob is a dust storm created by a thunderstorm's downdrafts. It's also a fun word that makes Dana launch into ridiculously detailed explanations of desert weather patterns. California's governor continues to post on social media using Trump's posting style. Republicans are saying the posts are childish and not fitting of a leader. That's exactly the point he's trying to make, but they still seem to be missing it. Hawaii has detected measles in the wastewater testing facility. Idaho is in serious trouble financially over Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. The state's constitution requires a balanced budget. Estimates suggest the state is going to be just a little in the red because of Trump's bill. By a little bit, I mean somewhere between $80 and $167 million. Indiana state lawmakers are being pushed by Trump to join the national redistricting fiasco. Louisiana has decided not to defend its congressional map at the Supreme Court. Now it's saying that any use of race is unconstitutional. That's an argument that would allow racial gerrymandering as long as they can frame it as something else. In Maine, Senator Susan Collins was heckled at an event by people shouting, "Shame." Massachusetts is redesigning its flag and has unveiled its top options. In Mississippi, the family of Emmett Till recreated his train ride from Chicago. Nevada state offices were disrupted for days because of a ransomware cyber attack. Elsewhere in the state, about 70 piles of cremated human remains were reportedly found in the desert. A New Mexico man has been diagnosed with the plague. Elsewhere in the state, 4 deputies were fired and 1 was charged over the bunny video. If you don't know about it, a cop heard a bunny. I don't recommend watching the video. Bizarrely, it looks like the cop who reported the incident was also fired. In North Dakota last month, a B-52 almost collided with an airliner. We're now finding out that shortly after, it almost hit a second plane. A North Carolina election official has resigned after being arrested for allegedly putting pills containing MDMA in his granddaughter's ice cream. In Oregon, the Trump administration plans on removing protections from millions of acres of national forests. South Carolina experienced about a dozen earthquakes in the last couple of days. In Texas, the NAACP has filed suit over the redistricting maps. In the waters off of Virginia, Stone crabs were found for the first time. Virginia's waters have generally been too cold for the species. And here's your weird state fact for this week. Louisiana's Lake Pontchartrain Causeway has nearby power lines over Lake Pontchartrain that have been used as a visual demonstration of the Earth's curvature. It's actually helped convince flat earthers. Okay, so moving on to the question and answer portion of the show. Question number 1. Quick question I've been mulling over. Do you think Republicans are factoring in the risk of alienating their own base with some of these policies? It feels like they're banking on gerrymandering to hold on to power, but I wonder if they're making a risky assumption that their base will still show up and vote red no matter what. What happens if enough frustrated voters flip blue out of protest? Gerrymandering might not just fail. It could actually concentrate those swing votes in districts they thought were safe, doubling the impact in places they weren't expecting to lose. By the time midterms hit, could this backfire? Seems like a double whammy, losing support from within while trying to redraw the map to stay afloat. This is definitely a possibility, but I don't think they'll flip blue. I think they'll just stay home. I've just kind of noticed that when Republicans get mad, they don't vote against their party. They tend to just not show up. Question number 2. I live in California, where I've been enjoying watching Newsom stand up to Trump. Now that the legislature has put the measure on November's ballot for the redistricting plan to counter Texas, I've received 3 mailers against this measure just in the past few days. And I have to admit, they strike a chord. I think a lot of people are like me, uneasy about putting aside our nonpartisan redistricting program. What do you think? Have California Dems come up with a solid plan? Or are we making a gamble that's potentially high risk? We kind of have a policy against telling people how to vote. That being said, all mailers are designed to strike a chord and appeal some emotion. From what I understand, the mailers are designed to make all of the philosophical arguments against gerrymandering. Just wondering if you think the groups that sent you those mailers also sent them out in Texas to Republicans to get them to oppose the gerrymander. My understanding is that the redistricting shift is temporary. The damage from an unchecked Trump may not be. Okay, that looks like it. We'll see you next week for another trip. Y'all have a good day.